Across Los Angeles, these dual-lens cameras are harvesting data from the streets at a scale that was recently revealed in a massive internal review. The LAPD's Inspector General found that in a single 60-day window, the department's automated license plate readers captured over 210 million scans. This collection occurred while the department lacked formal contracts with vendors to govern data security, privacy, or access controls. The LAPD case illustrates the current state of modern policing. It shows an infrastructure capable of tracking millions of people, operating in an environment where the technology has far outpaced the rules designed to govern it. These black cameras and solar panels are now becoming standard features on neighborhood utility poles and highway intersections. Every vehicle that enters their field of view is photographed and uploaded into a centralized, searchable database without a warrant. Less than 1% of the vehicles scanned are ever connected to a crime. This shifts the standard of law enforcement from targeted, suspicion-based tracking to a system of default, automated mass surveillance. Flock Safety's AI catalogues every vehicle's unique markers, from bumper stickers to scratches. While police argue drivers have no expectation of privacy on public roads, scholars call the result the Mosaic Theory. Combining millions of isolated data points reveals a deeply private pattern of life. Creating this type of dense, searchable behavioral profile was physically impossible with traditional, stationary security cameras. This level of automated tracking effectively closes the gap between public anonymity and a private, warrantless search, bypassing the standard protections of the Fourth Amendment. Providing absolute access to these networks without rigorous oversight leads to direct personal abuse. Investigators have documented at least 29 confirmed cases where law enforcement officers misused license plate reader databases to monitor individuals for personal reasons. In Georgia, deputies used the system to stalk romantic interests. In Texas, an officer utilized the database to track a woman seeking an abortion. Internal audits show that even when the system flags a vehicle, officers often log no action, meaning that vast amounts of unverified personal data simply sit in the database. This dormant data is accessible to federal agencies. Evidence shows ICE has utilized these networks to track people, bypassing local sanctuary laws. When a system is built on absolute access with zero oversight, it is inherently vulnerable to this type of exploitation. In cities like Huntington, West Virginia, the rapid deployment of these cameras has triggered a Grassroots legal response. Residents there have sued to halt surveillance contracts and are drafting ballot initiatives to ban the technology entirely, supported by the ACLU's Get the Flock Out campaign. There is a similar push at the federal level to reject bills like CORCA, which would expand the Department of Homeland Security's access to consumer-facing surveillance tools. These local efforts represent citizens attempting to legislate their own constitutional protections, because the courts have yet to provide clear boundaries for this technology. In some communities, the frustration with the legal system has shifted into direct physical resistance against the hardware. This is the Deflock Project, a crowdsourced map tracking over 115,000 automated license plate readers nationwide. It allows users to identify surveillance clusters and route their travel to avoid them. Other activists are physically disabling the network, cutting power wires, using 3D printed lens blockers, and using paint to blind the sensors. Saboteurs like NoMark in Minneapolis are now systematically targeting these cameras to disable the surveillance grid in their specific neighborhoods. We are living in a period where technological capability has outrun the law. Until the courts determine if AI-powered tracking constitutes an illegal search, the fate of public privacy is being decided in the streets.